Alright guys, so in this video, I'm going to be ranking every single rare fruit from worst to best. So if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe, get to the video, guys. Alright guys, so before I start this tier list, it is going to be overall. So I'm going to be ranking these fruits overall, whether it is grinding, PvP, or traveling. It's just going to be an overall tier list, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. If you guys have any suggestions for the video, leave in the comment section below. We'll be checking them out. Alright guys, so coming in 8th place is going to, of course, be the gravity fruit. It's probably the worst rare fruit in the entire game. Now, by rare, I'm going to be including all the mythicals onto this tier list because I think they are the rarest in this game. So starting off with this is obviously going to be the gravity fruit, guys. The gravity fruit overall is really just not that great. I mean, like, the PvP aspect of it kind of sucks, in all honesty. It's kind of, you know, very small AoE, even though it's a very AoE based fruit, combined with the fact that the combos are very, very lacking for the gravity fruit overall. So I definitely think, you know, the gravity fruit definitely leaves a lot to be, you know, to be wanted for, and there's a reason why gravity fruit is worth almost nothing as well in training. It's just because nobody wants this fruit, even though it's extremely rare as a fruit. It's just not that good. Nobody wants it, and if you see this thing spawn on your server, you're probably regretting everything because you could have gotten any other mythical, and instead you got the absolute worst mythical in the game. Now, that aside, it still is an extremely rare fruit, so, you know, it is okay overall. It definitely, you know, the other ones are definitely significantly better. Like, between 7th and 8th on this list, there is such a gap in, you know, how good the fruit is, but it still is a rare fruit. Now, coming in 7th place is going to be the control fruit. Now, the control fruit overall, guys, this is definitely going to be a mainly PvP based fruit. Now, this fruit is mainly meant for 1v1 scenarios because if you try to bounty hunt with this fruit, a lot of the time people just run out of your AoE effect, so you're not gonna be able to hit people with your control abilities at all. Not only that, but the actual AoE of it definitely makes it so, like, by AoE, by the way, guys, I mean like the arena that you make for control. So control, if you guys are unaware, you have to actually have a circle around you that you make your control area, and if you're really bad at setting this up, you will not be able to grind with this effectively because of this, and you will not be able to PvP effectively because of this. A lot of the time when you're fighting a control user, all you need to do is just use a traveler move and run out of the control area, and it's all donezo after that. But if you're actually competent with the control, if you know what you're doing with control, you will absolutely slap some cheeks together. Now, if you're insanely good with control, this definitely could be like even 3rd on this list, but overall, I definitely think control is going to be 7th on here. It definitely has a lot of combo potential. Absolutely amazing for PvP if you know what you're doing, but to get to that amount of skill level definitely takes quite a while with control. Very, very, very high skill floor for this fruit. Now, coming to 6th place is going to be the soul fruit. Now, the soul fruit just has absolutely high damage amounts. The actual DPS of this fruit really isn't that high, but it has absolutely fat damage amounts. So DPS isn't really equivalent to how high the damage can possibly be. DPS is damage per second, so soul is just kind of like big damage bursts at one time. So the DPS of it is honestly quite low, but if you throw this into some, you know, different sword combos or into some different gun combos, you will be doing some absolutely fat damage amounts with this. So yeah, soul definitely very solid 6th place on this list. I definitely think this fruit can be a very, very good fruit if you know what you're doing, but a lot like with control, it has a very high skill floor. So, you know, soul, very hard fruit to use, but it definitely can be very solid, and, you know, it is what it is. Now, coming to 5th place is going to be dragon. Now, I know dragon could possibly be ranked a lot higher on this tier list, but I definitely think dragon is going to be ranked this low, honestly, just because it really, really sucks with PvE content. Dragon in PvE is honestly quite horrid. It's one of the worst PvE fruits in the entire game, and that says a lot considering, you know, there's some pretty bad ones out there, and dragon is probably the worst of them. Not only is the moves that are spammable just really not that great for grinding, the AoE sizes on them, the big AoE abilities have super high cooldowns, and the small AoE abilities usually have lower cooldowns when it comes to dragon. So dragon, even though it is a very, very spammy fruit in the transformation, it definitely can be really good for bounty hunting. A lot of people use dragon for bounty hunting just because, you know, it has very high damage, easy to travel with and stuff like that. It definitely is not that good for grinding, so, you know, 5th place is very solid placement for the dragon fruit. Now, another thing with the dragon fruit, like I said, guys, it is really, really good for PvP content. That's why it's going to be ranked, you know, as high as it is on this tier list, even though it isn't that great for grinding. Just really good for PvP, guys. I've fought some dragon users, guys, and trust me, if you get hit by a single ability, you take like half your HP and damage. So dragon, very, very good for PvP content. Now, coming to 4th place, it's going to be one of my personal favorite fruits in the game, the shadow fruit. Now, the shadow fruit is an extremely fun fruit to use, and it is pretty okay for grinding and absolutely amazing for PvP combos. So the move that is okay for grinding is, of course, going to be the ultimate, which is a big AoE, big giant damage burst ability. The actual other abilities are mainly combo based, and let me tell you guys, if you get hit by a shadow combo, it's pretty much GG for you, because not only is the shadow fruit, it honestly, like, isn't that hard to use. Like, the moves kind of combo with each other in all honesty, but it does have insanely high damage amounts as well. So if they land a shadow ability on you, you're pretty much donezo after that. Like, the shadow damage amount is absolutely absurd, insanely high damage amounts. It does have a decent traveling ability. And, you know, just because of the giant AoE ultimate, it can be good for grinding as well. So, solid 4th place for the Shadow Fruit on this tier list. And I definitely think Shadow Fruit is by far one of the coolest fruits in the game. Now, coming in 3rd place, guys, is going to be, of course, the Venom Fruit, starting off the solid top 3 on this tier list. Venom Fruit, not only is it one of the rarest fruits in the game, but it is one of the best fruits in the game. Now, unfortunately, Venom was nerfed, but the nerf didn't really hit it that hard. It definitely is still a very, very good fruit. And I definitely think, you know, Venom in the transformation can do some fat damage amounts. Now, some people like to do Kabucha spiky trident combos with Venom. Those are okay, but let's be real here, guys. The people that use Venom, you guys go into transformation, you slap some fat, you know, some fat spammy AoEs on the ground, poison people to death. You guys know what you're doing. Like, you guys slap some fat AoEs in the ground and you slap some cheeks together. But the Venom fruit overall is an extremely good fruit, guys. It definitely is really rare, and it definitely has a lot to boast for its rarity. Not only does the transformation reduce the amount of damage you take overall, but actually makes your attacks even better and even larger AoE sizes. So if you see someone with a Venom transformation, if they know what they're doing, you're definitely going to be in for a long ride here, guys. Venom, very, very solid fruit, very good entry onto this tier list. Now, coming in 2nd place is going to be the Leopard Fruit. Now, the Leopard Fruit, of course, guys, is an absolutely godly PvP fruit. Not only is it insanely spammable in PvP, probably one of the most brain dead spammable fruits in the entire game, but it is also okay for grinding. You know, Leopard, the trigger revolver move actually is pretty amazing for boss grinding, not to mention the fact that Leopard has pretty good AoEs and extremely high damage amounts, which actually makes grinding quite easy. Now, the thing that Leopard has going against it for grinding is that the cooldowns can be quite long in a lot of different cases, you know, for the abilities that are good for grinding, but it definitely makes up for in the PvP aspect of it. So Leopard not only can it catch any fruit in the game because, you know, you can spam the ability so hard and the transformation makes you basically have permanent mink transformation on top of you. The transformation also makes your moves do even more damage, and it makes your M1s do damage based off your devil fruit scaling, so you don't even need stats in your other, you know, other abilities. So Leopard Fruit, guys, insanely high damage amounts, extremely fast, extremely good for combos. You don't even need to use the transformation to combo people. You can actually just use normal combos and just throw Leopard into it, just because Leopard is just such a good combo fruit. But quite frankly, you don't even need to do that. Transformation and Leopard, guys, run around until you hit a single ability on someone, spam all the keys at once, and you will completely dumpster people with Leopard. It's an insanely overpowered fruit, and I'm sure you guys know this based on the amount of bounty hunters I see with this fruit. It's absolutely crazy how many there are, guys. Let's stand up, rise against the Leopard users, even though I'm one of them. By the way, guys, I heard if you like the video right now, you will get 10 million times luck getting the rarest fruits in Blox Fruits. So make sure to smash that like button, subscribe. Now, coming to 1st place, probably as a surprise to absolutely nobody, is going to be the Dough Fruit. Now, the Dough Fruit, guys, yeah, I mean, like, do I really need to explain why this fruit's so good? So it is one of the rarest fruits in the game. I'm pretty sure it's between the second and 5th rarest fruit. It's around that rarity, and it is absolutely insane as a fruit. Once you get the awakening of Dough, not only are you going to be able to one-shot people with combos, but Dough has some of the easiest to land combos in the entire game, and all you need to do to make the combos true and not escapable whatsoever, just throw Cyborg into your kit. Literally, just throw Cyborg in, press T on your keyboard or on your, you know, on your phone or whatever, and you will absolutely one-shot people. So Dough has insane high damage amounts, insanely good stun attacks, insanely good for PvP, insanely easy to hit combos, and I definitely think Dough overall is significantly better to use than Leopard, which is honestly the reason why you see way more Dough users than Leopard, because I definitely think, you know, when it comes to Dough is just more useful overall. Like, even though Leopard is good for boss fighting, decent for grinding, really good for PvP, Dough is also insanely good for PvP. It is one of the best boss grinding fruits in the game because you can actually stun the boss with Dough, and it has insanely high damage, and it's actually pretty decent for grinding as well. So Dough comes in here with the fat 1st place on this tier list, guys. Anyways, guys, that's for this video. If you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe, guys. Bye bye.